Because Monday is also the start of the regular organizational hearing and session. So that means that lawmakers are going to have to get to a lot of procedural things like swearing in all of the new members and electing party leadership. Rosario Lozano stopped working about 3 months ago.
I had to stop working to take care of her and take care of my 3-year-old.
That's about the time gas prices started to rise again, and California saw gas prices that were $2.60 more than the national average.
I had to stop going a lot of places. I would stay home for a while.
Like the California Energy Commission, which couldn't point to exactly why prices are so much higher in California in a hearing they held earlier this week, Lozano can't either. But she does know if it's malicious.
If they do take advantage of that, they should be punished.
That's exactly what Newsom wants. His special session to make it happen starts on Monday.
It's not that big of a deal. What you'll basically hear, Morgan, is the presiding officer say, we'll recess the regular session and convene the extraordinary session, and then they'll conduct business for a few minutes.
Chris McKaylee is a longtime lobbyist and adjunct law professor at McGeorge. He believes the process will pick up in January after the holidays when lawmakers return to the Capitol for the start of the regular session, and that it could take weeks or months.
First of all, we have to wait and see whether the governor submits proposed bills that would accomplish the several goals that he has set forth. And then the legislature is going to hold hearings on those pieces of legislation.
Newsom wants to accomplish 3 things in this session. First, impose a penalty on oil companies for price gouging and return that money to Californians. Second, give additional powers to state agencies to review and monitor the pricing and profiting. And third, greater regulatory oversight in order to address avoidable gasoline shortages. Again, we still don't have anything in writing on how exactly the governor wants to punish these oil companies. But one observation, if you will, is that when the governor originally announced that he wanted to punish these oil companies, he said he wanted to tax them on their excess profits, and a tax would require 2/3 vote by lawmakers. But in the official proclamation in writing calling for the start of this special session, he called it a penalty, which is one of the very few exceptions to that tax rule. And when you have a penalty, think, for example, when you run a red light and you're fined $100 for breaking the law, which is separate from a tax, then that only requires a simple majority, not 2/3.
All right, Morgan, one thing I want to clear up. So the special session is starting at the same time as the regular session. So why? Why are we calling this a special session?
Well, one reason could be the publicity around calling for a special session, because here we are talking about a special session. But one benefit to a special session is that once it adjourns those bills, if any are passed, and one note is the lawmakers are not required to pass anything during a special session, but if they do, they go into effect 91 days after that special session ends, so not too far long after.
Morgan Reiner reporting live from Sacramento, trying to break this down for us. Morgan, thanks.